of His Highness the President's visit to Russia and various discussions ongoing there on a high political level, of course. So far, we have not seen any proposals from the Russian side, and then they would not come to us anyway. It would go to some organization that is in charge of developing the energy systems in the UAE. And we do have a requirement, which is important to note, that any organization in the UAE intending to build advanced nuclear facilities, they need to engage with us early on. So if there is, as soon as there is a proposal, we will know. So far, we have not seen anything. So, to our knowledge, we don't know. We have not been informed about these plans. It is possible, but as a regulator, we need, of course, to approve if such a proposal comes. We need to look at the site. Is the site suitable for more reactors, for example? This is a very important question for us and other authorities in the UAE to look at the siting and also if they work together, various types of reactors. So there is a whole package of issues if there is such a proposal, but there is not so far. So UAE is ready to address any such emergency. If we talk about Baraka, so as part of the license requirements when we approved operation of the first unit of Baraka, there was a need for them, for ENEC operations, which was called NAWA before, to have a demonstrated and exercised emergency plan for the Baraka. So they have procedures, the staff are trained and they know what to do, who to inform, what actions to be taken, etc. So that is on their level, and we approved that in connections with the operating license. That's done. Secondly, there is on the national level an emergency arrangement led by higher authorities in the country. So FANR is advising other authorities in case there is an emergency in Baraka or somewhere else. So there are different layers, and then the third layer is on the international level. So if there is an emergency in the UAE, we have an obligation to inform the IAEA in Vienna based on a convention that was developed and signed in the middle of the 80s. And UAE was in the beginning signing or ratifying these conventions. It's called Convention on Early Notification, which means that if somebody has an accident, it needs to inform the agency, and the agency then in its turn inform neighboring countries and other international community. And there is also an assistance convention, and all these are trained and exercised. So for example, UAE hosted some years ago a big international emergency exercise involving many countries and organizations, and which was another demonstration that we have functioning emergency arrangements in the country and on the Baraka level. And the FANR also has a state-of-the-art emergency operating center. So if there is if we go into this advisory role, and there is an emergency, the whole organization, the whole FANR is transformed into emergency organization, and we all have different roles to help the country in managing the emergency. So there are many elements of a functioning national emergency arrangement, but we are fulfilling our role, and we have had also testing by the IAEA. We have peer review missions to check, and we are reporting to them also our events. The operational safety is managed by the operator. That is a basic principle in all nuclear, everywhere in the world. The regulator is responsible for oversight, but the safe operation is with the utility itself, with ENEC operation. So what we do, we check that they shoulder, that they take their responsibility, that they have trained procedures, trained staff, and everything in place that is needed in order to have a safe operation. And today, all 4 reactors operate safely. They operate at 100%. We have now, as you said, 5 years of experience already. So we start to know what can happen, but not any serious events have happened so far, thanks God, and we hope this will continue. And we have 8 resident inspectors. They are working, they are located in Baraka, so they are not sitting in Abu Dhabi, they are sitting in Baraka, checking the day-to-day operations of Baraka, going rounds, doing inspections, asking questions, and reporting to us, and making sure that ENEC really understand that they are managing a nuclear reactor, which has special features. They need to have a strong safety culture, for example. With safety culture, we mean always safety is the priority. If there is a conflict between continued operation or safety, safety needs always to be first, because this is done for the protection of the public and the environment, and we are the public's arm in Baraka. The security of fuel supply is a key for ENEC and for any nuclear operator. So I think the key is diversification. We know that ENEC is exploring this, and the initial fuel has come from Korea, where the reactors came from. And then we have also seen that ENEC has concluded with a French company called Framatome, also to start manufacturing some fuel element. But this requires the approval of FANR, and we have not received that application yet to use other types of fuel than the Korean, which we already approved. So it means that we need to engage our expertise and to check that it's compatible, because it will be a mix by Korean fuel and other suppliers' fuel, and you need to make sure that this works safely. So waste management is important, and it has always been on the radar of the UAE government since the establishment of Baraka. So it is part of the policy that we have to have a strong waste management system in the country, following the highest international standards. So we have several types of waste, and FANR has issued several regulations already, and the ENEC operation is working according to them. So there are low-level waste, which is contaminated clothes, tools, masses that are chemicals that are used for cleaning of reactor water, etc. This is called low-level waste. It's now stored at Baraka, but it then, after some time of storage, it will be transported to a repository somewhere else. We are just looking at the siting of this repository. And for the nuclear waste, because you take off about 1/3 of the content of the nuclear fuel every 18 months, and then you put it in fuel pools to cool down about 15, 20, up to 20 years in a nearby pool next to the reactor. They take it from the reactor, lift it to another water pool, and then after that 20 years, there is a need to build another facility. But again, it requires our approval. But this is international experience. It's nothing new. It's nothing dramatic. And then at some point, you need a final disposal. And the government of UAE has so far said it has to be done in the UAE, no transportation, which is also a common principle in many countries. So we have full control of the nuclear waste. So it's not up to us, but we are aware that nuclear technology is one technology that will probably be used to fuel the data centers. We don't know yet what is going to happen in the UAE. If somebody wants to use nuclear technology, they need a license from us, because it's probably a small reactor, and we need to analyze it to make sure it's safe, because that might be located closer to population areas. But this is what they call SMR, small modular reactors, are considered in many countries to be used for this purpose. So it's likely it will come, but we don't know yet.